Good evening and thank you for joining us. Hundreds of black farmers and landowners met in downtown Columbus today to sign a petition that is now headed to Congress.
After one of the largest civil rights settlements in history, one U.S. agency is accused of withholding payments for over 2 decades. Shawanda joins us live in the studio with that story.
From 1865 to present day, black farmers have been fighting for land, proper compensation, and their rights.
To compensate people every 5 or 6 years does not restore them back on the land.
Over 20 years ago, black farmers led a class action lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Agriculture on the basis of racial discrimination. The farmers claim to have been denied access to low interest rates on loans, grant programs, and other federal assistance. The USDA settled in 1999 and was ordered to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in restitution to black farmers. Thomas Burrell is the president of the Black Farmers and Agriculturists Association. He says that nearly a quarter of a century later, those farmers still haven't been properly compensated.
And now here we are again in 2023 under the Inflation Act. Congress set aside $2.2 billion to compensate black farmers and their heirs for racial discrimination. You got to remember now, African Americans had acquired over 20 million acres of land by 1920 and 1910 rather. Today they own less than 5 million acres.
That land is said to be worth almost $350 billion. Burrell says the USDA is now complying with the court orders, but people are having to jump through hoops to see any payback. He says applications to receive money from the Pickford 1 and 2 settlements weren't nearly as unfair as what is being asked of farmers now.
Individuals are now being able to get compensated, or should be able to compensate, but they have to fill out a 40-page application. A 40-page application to show that they are victims of discrimination. In other words, in Pickford 1, they only had 4 or 5 pages. In Pickford 2, you had 4 or 5 pages. Why is it now we're going to settle with these same individuals and then require them to fill out 40 pages?
Over 500 black farmers attended the conference to learn how to properly submit that 40-page application. They also signed a petition headed to Congress to have that application process altered to a simpler version. In today's Megaphone question, we asked viewers if they knew what percentage of U.S. farmland is owned by black farmers. According to a study by the USDA, black farmers only own 2% of all farmland in the United States.